feet. With Dr. Telisa, let's take a stand. Together we'll grow hand in hand.
From the
Dr.
roots of
Telisa
history
show.
to dreams we chase, Dr. Talisa Franklin shines a light on every face. In
At the
every
Dr.
heartbeat,
Telisa
there's a
show.
story to tell. Gotta keep the culture celebrated as we excel.
Here at the Dr. Telisa show. Hand in hand.
From
at
the
Dr.
roots of
Telisa.
history.
To the sound of my voice, this is the day that the Lord has made. And what we going to do? We're going to rejoice and be glad in it. Listen, on today's show, y'all, I am always excited to have amazing people that's doing absolutely incredible things. But you got to understand, when you see people doing incredible things, you always sometimes want to know, where did that start, or what happened, what got them there. In other words, what was the trigger, right? Whether the trigger good or bad. So y'all welcome with me the one and the only Charlie Golden. What's up, my brother?
What's up, sis?
How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, it's a pleasure. I get excited to talk with you because knowing you and seeing who you are today is a blessing. So kind of tell our listening audience and of course our viewing audience, who is Charlie Golden?
Charlie Golden Jr. is a young man that has had challenges in life, a few adverse situations that God has given me a new opportunity at life to share the craftsmanship that God had done on the inside of me to be able to help my fellow man.
You know, you said something that who you are, but a lot of people see you now and they see this bright young entrepreneur really doing great works. From day one I met you, you've always been that guy. But before we saw the guy that we see today, there was another Charlie, right? And so it's imperative for people to know, if they're in situations, that's not their end all, be all. Kind of share, if you don't mind, share with us a little of your story so people can understand, because I tell people all the time, I am so open with my life. I'm an open book. So you ain't got to go look up nothing. I tell you, right? Because why waste your time? I tell you, because I have nothing to be ashamed of, right? And that's what I think has made me who I am today. Because I am relatable. Because I ain't trying to act like I've gotten it together overnight. I did. I had a lot
Nobody does.
And because of God's grace, he kept me. So kind of share with us, if you would.
Well, you can't know where you're going in life if you don't know where you've been. So in 1998, I was sentenced to 15 years for conspiracy to first-degree murder, where I spent 8 years in prison, where God took me to a place of solitude where he could get my undivided attention, where he could work on me while I was on the potter's wheel. And through that, God allowed me to go to school in prison. A lot of people go to college, but I went to college in a different type of setting, where I was abreast to get interior, exterior renovation, building maintenance, commercial cleaning, get my barber license, stay certified through Pontiac Business Institute. So 6 years I was still kind of living the life that I lived before I went to prison. And the last 2 years, God had started to deal with me and draw me, and mostly the mentality, my mind of thinking. If we keep thinking the way we're thinking, we'll keep doing what we're doing. Keep doing what we're doing, we'll keep getting what we're getting. So when God started to pull on my heart and give me a personal relationship with him, is when everything transformed for me. So the people that was around me allowed me to see me change from the old person, street life, drugs, gangs, all different stuff that was plaguing our community. So I was like, Lord, if you give me another opportunity, I'll serve you with my life. And so when I got out, my whole demeanor has been to try to create opportunities for the youth, to put them in a better position instead of them falling through the pitfalls of the system. The system has been perfected to impose its will on us as a people. So I try my best to enlighten the young men on the things that they think is what's important: the glamour, the cars, the girls, the fame. I had all of that before I went to prison, but it was a big pitfall for me that the devil had set up for me. His job is to kill, steal, and to destroy. So he allowed me to go to prison at a young age. I was 21 years old. When I came home, I was 29. So it's a lot transitions in a decade. And so when I got out, I started working with my father, which does landscaping. My mom had her own beauty shop on Poplar and Auburndale, so I would cut hair in the barber shop. But most of the people I knew would come back with the same conversations, like, when you gonna get straight? You know, you got this, you got that. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna tempt myself. You know, in the process of me getting out, you know, money wasn't plentiful, but God told me that he would supply my every need. But coming from making 54 cents and maxing out at 54 cents in 8 years, I had so much humility towards what God was trying to do for me.
Wow. So here you are, 21 years young. You go to jail. You come back literally, you know, it's about a decade.
Yeah.
Life changed.
Right.
Right? What you thought was what it was, it ain't. Right? And I see a lot of time our young brothers, especially right now. Right. You know, as people call them the YNs. I see them doing things that's not right. Right? And it makes them feel glamorous, but nobody tell them the story that you just said.
Right.
Your whole life can be taken away from you by making poor choices, right? But literally, you came out and you didn't get tempted. How did you handle the temptation? Because there may be somebody who's listening or watching that maybe have done years in prison, right? And they've gotten out, but they feel like there's no jobs, there's no opportunities, there's no money. But they went back to what they said, well, I can go back to do this. I know this. And I tell a lot of cats, baby, what y'all were doing selling dope before, don't try that stuff now.
Right.
Technology going to get your car faster than you can ever, before you even make the transaction, right? So how do you, what would you say to them for them to understand it's not worth it?
Honest to God, truth, it got to be Christ.
Okay.
Transitioning from life of crime, living in the streets, obeying the street code, as they would say. You know, the young people don't understand, most of them, because they can't read, they can't write, and they can't count. So that's why they're so aggressive. There's a mechanism to keep you up off of them so you can't feast or see their insecurities. So I watched them come in prison for 8 years, young, in the juvenile tank, and before they, when they turn 18, they put them out in the compound, and they have no idea. The stuff that I've witnessed while I was in prison is no different than being in war, and in Afghanistan or Desert Storm. The same thing happens in prison. It's just a prison is different from going to war because it has benefits. It's a sophisticated prison with benefits. But when you look at a person that go to prison, you're going through the same forms of trauma. You seeing people get killed. You know, and that guy is getting raped. You know, he's being extorted. Various of things that happens in prison is a world inside a world. And a lot of these kids, I tell them, like, even with my boys in my school, like, I tell them about sagging. Out here it's a fashion. But in prison, it's an invitation to your rear end to another man. So, you know, what you want to do, you tell these kids the truth, because when they get in that situation, it's hard for them to adapt. And for me, I thank God that he always had his hands on me. He shielded and protected me from all hurt, harm, and danger. And then he elevated my mind of thinking. And that was where everything changed for me. So I try to instill that in these kids, because they don't know the experience of going to hell here on earth. See, I was able to go to hell here on earth for 8 years. I'm like Lazarus, brother. He said, go back, for I've been tormented in this place every day of my life. Make better choices, make better decisions. Don't be like me. I was in a program in prison called PACE, Prisoners Actively Involved in Community Endeavors. They would have kids come from Dyersburg University, different schools and stuff like that. And we would share with the kids our truth. Ultimately, when we stand before God, our choices in life would be the judge before God. So I want the decisions that I make to be accounted for, and then that I can share my truth, not throw the rock and hide the hand. Let them see how God delivered me, how God healed me, and now how he set me free to be able to do the things that I'm doing right now. You know, if we seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, everything we desire in our heart to be added unto you. So I live by that. I try my best to walk it out in my actions and my deeds, not just necessarily what I'm saying to them, but showing them in real time. And God is not a respecter person. If he done it for me, he'll do it for you. If I'm blessing you with everything that God had given me, and plus what God gave you, you should be better than me. So that's kind of like building up their insecurities, introducing them to who God is, increasing their faith. We always understand that faith without works is dead, but it's impossible to please him without faith.
You know, I'm sitting here listening to you. You know that word.
Yeah.
And when you said that the Lord set you down, right? And I tell some parents, and they be like, I want my child to do this, but you know your child doing all these bad things, right? Instead of stop making excuses. You know, I had a dear friend of mine. She prayed the prayer that her son go to jail. Yeah. And people say, you wrong. She said, if he go to jail, I can see him and God can talk to him. Right now, God can't talk to him, and I'd rather see him go to jail than me got to go and view him being dead, because the consequences of his actions was gonna land him there, right? And so parents, y'all, we got to be mindful of how we condone wrong, right? That's right. Because a lot of times I tell anybody, you know, my nephew spent 13, 14 years in prison, and he would tell you, he said, my TT didn't play that stuff. I did, because I gave you everything. Unfortunately, he did 14 years in jail, was out for 3 months, and died of a heat stroke. Wow. So all those years he missed because of poor choices, right? And so life is all about choices. Right. And I'm grateful that when you got out, you made the right choice. And now I've seen what you're doing with these young boys. You teaching them the life skills that you learned there. But also I like that you share with your young boys about sagging, because I get so frustrated when I see young boys sagging. And I was like, do you really understand what you putting yourself into? Because maybe there's somebody that came out of jail, don't know that's your fad. They still got jail mentality. And they gonna try you, then you gonna want to kill them. But you created the opportunity. You created the opportunity, thinking, oh, he easy to go. Listen, y'all, I'm Dr. Telisa. We'll be right back right after this with more with Charlie Golden.
Join the rhythm and feel the beat in our community where we're all complete. With Dr. Telisa, let's take a stand. Together we'll grow hand in hand.
From the
Dr.
roots of history
Show.
to dreams we chase, Dr. Telisa Franklin shines a light on every face. In every heartbeat, there's a story to tell. Gotta keep the culture celebrated as we excel. Here at the Dr. Telisa Show.
It's time for an upgrade. Let's upgrade your skincare routine. If you suffer from acne scars, dark spots, or severe hyperpigmentation, you need the Tones by Coco Brightening Moisturizer, Rapid Dark Spot Corrector, and you have to try our Kojic Acid Sea Moss Soap. These products work so fast, you can see results in just 7 days. You have to try. Shop now and get 10% off your first order at tonesbycoco.com. Hey you, ready to glow up this year? The Tones by Coco Luxury Organic System has the complete skincare regimens that tailor to all skin types. Wash your face to perfection with the trusted luxury organic brand. Our product line will help you solve problematic skin issues such as hyperpigmentation, acne, severe skin dryness, and inflammation. Our daily regimen kits, they help combat these issues, leaving your skin with an even tone appearance, clear from acne and blackheads, moisturized with max hydration, free from irritation and sensitivities. We also carry top quality plant extracted cloth mask containing herbal healing properties, along with vitamins that add that essential nutrition to your skin. Start your journey today. Vegan, cruelty-free, clinically tested, and ethnically approved. Shop now at www.tonesbycoco.com.
Join the rhythm and feel the beat in our community where we're all complete. With Dr. Telisa, let's take a stand. Together we'll grow hand in hand.
From the
Dr.
roots of
Telisa
history
show.
to dreams we chase, Dr. Talisa Franklin shines a light on every face. In
At
every
the Dr.
heartbeat,
Telisa
there's
show.
a story to tell. Gotta keep the culture celebrated as we excel. Here at the Dr. Talisa show.
So we're back. I am your girl, Dr. Telisa Franklin, and I'm super excited to have this conversation. I think this is a live conversation. Charlie Colden has an amazing story, and I was sharing, before we went to break, that how a mom prayed that her son went to jail, right, to save them. And I was, I'm just amazed that when that happened, but it saved her her son, because other than that, he could have been dead.
Yeah.
Did your parents ever pray or even say they prayed something because you were so far out there in the streets?
Yeah, my mom and dad both told me. My mom told me that you were worshiping an idol god. What did the rappers are now? I was dead in the 90s. So young, I was 20 years old, but living like I was like 35. And my dad was telling me that, you got yourself in trouble, and the best thing I could do for you is pray. God's covering that you don't lose your soul. And, in the process, I went to prison. First 6 years of my life, I was having just as much drugs in prison I was having on the street. And so that was the life that I was living. And I actually was on my way to church to serve a guy some weed with the weed in my Bible. The mission was he sit down next to me, put his money in the Bible, get the weed out. We finished the service, and then we end up going back to our part. But however, by me being there, the evangelist from Dyersburg was ministering to my soul. She knew things about me for 2 weeks that nobody knew but God. From that day to this day, my life ain't never been the same. I went back to my part, glory to God. I started giving the weed away, secular music, anything that was in my presence that was keeping me away from God. God said, you got too much trash in front of you. I can't see you. And I started to relinquish those things so God could deal with me. And from that day to this day, I've been on the wall, trying my best to deter the youth from going through the same experiences that I did. It wasn't easy, but it's not hard when you got God. I got a praying mother. My dad pray, and they didn't want to just turn me over and leave me to the streets. And God had a purpose for my life, so I'm trying to just walk in purpose, you know, and build up our community the best way I know how.
I think about God rest my nephew's soul, that I remember pulling up to him. He was on the block, and I ain't never been scared. From where I come from, baby. I ain't never scared, right? So I pull up. I said, come on, you need to go to church. And normally he would be fussing. That day he got in the car and went. And the prophet pulled him up and told him in his ear, and he didn't tell me immediately, if you don't change your ways, you're going to go away for a mighty long time.
Wow.
So I took him back. It wasn't but probably a few months later, my nephew go to jail. When the judge sentenced him to 120 months, he said, TT, all I saw, it was a white prophet. I saw that white man facing yours. He said, I wish I would have did that God thing like you told me. And then that's what he told me. He said, you know what, auntie? When you came, he said, reason why I ain't give you no hesitant, he said, I was tired. And I said I was just going to go to church and go to sleep because I knew I was going to be safe. And I was going to get back on the block. He said, I really wish I would have listened to what you said. And now fast forward, he got in jail, still trying to be the kingpin, right? Went from 12 years to rated 14 years and got out on Palm Sunday. I remember they came to church. And I had 3 months with him, and I never forget that last Sunday he was at church because he still was going back and forth. I ain't never told my nephew was perfect, right?
Right. None of us are.
You hear me?
Right.
But he was like, teacher, you still on this church thing. I'm going to try it. I said, baby, I'm telling you, I have been telling him the whole time he was in jail. But sometimes they just don't want to listen, right? And we got to make sure that we tell our young people the truth. There's no glamour in this.
Right.
That rap, one thing my son said, and my son is now 19, he said, Mama, it's something in the music, it's something in the lyrics. And at one point, I could tell that when he was listening to certain music, I can tell that his spirit wasn't right. Yeah. And I said, give me that phone, let me hear it. Yeah. And I said, let's go. And so now he knows, I said, let me hear the lyrics. And I started him when he was younger. Because once he started hearing the lyrics, I said, oh, those lyrics is to keep you depressed. These lyrics to keep you wild out. These lyrics want to make you to take drugs. These are the lyrics and this music that is affecting you. Right. And so, and you went through it your own self. So here you are, fast forward, you're doing all these things right. You guys started an institute, academy. Tell everybody about it, because I believe there is a parent out there or somebody that's connected said, I need my child or my brother, my son to be connected to you because you're not afraid to tell your story.
Right. You know, the Institute was something that God put on my heart about educating the world on what God has done for you. I know we go to school and they say you being educated, but I look at it different. I look at it, he says nothing new under the sun. So that comes out of you, you are educating the world on the craftsmanship that God has done on the inside. God gave all men gifts. It's developed through your talent, and it take your talent to serve your purpose. So it's just like when I went into prison to get something. I didn't understand it. If God allowed you to go to prison or any other situation that's adverse, it's a lining in that God is trying to show you something. It's a test. And if you receive the lesson out of the mistake, then you have learned. So you should do better. And when I got out, my mindset was like, everything that I went and took in prison, the devil meant for bad, but God meant it for good. So I said, I want to create opportunities and jobs in each certification that I have to be able to teach these young men to have hands-on training. God said, by the working of your hands and the sweat of your brow, he'll bless it. So a lot of times we looking for, I'm not against college, but everybody's not college equipment. They're not equipped to go to college. And if you get a trade, get you a skill, you can feed and provide for your family stable means that can put you in a different position in life. So we try to do, we have a landscaping school, we have a nail academy, we have horticulture, we have awareness program, we have apprenticeship program, and we have an entrepreneurship piece. So, and we just now opened up, my wife just birthed Golden Key Entrepreneur Training Academy, where we're dealing with startup businesses, people that have been in business but not properly vetted, that need to get their proper license, business license, EIN, whether they want to be a LLC, a 501c3, if they want to be certified for the city, for the county. So you can get all these qualifications and certification where you'll be able to move your business forward. And we start with the kids from, in the summertime, we have some program which deals 16 to 24 years old. And after that, we deal with 18 to 24. But I'm working on a piece now dealing with the reentry. My first mission was prevention. I was doing a project for the Washington Bottoms with EMPI in the works. I'm the one who created their water service line for them to have their garden and all that. A lot of people don't know the stuff that I do behind the scenes, even dealing with the works, the community garden and plant nursery that they have by Fraser School. I done that too. So, you know, we passing code, we pulling permits, electrical, plumbing, roofing. I'm teaching them everything that I know. We rehab houses. We just did our first program house in Binghamton, where the house we paid $2,500 for. They could have tore it down. We refurbished it. Now we have program house where the kids, when they graduate out the program, we give them job placement as well as adequate housing. So we just trying to, you know, do our part, be a beacon and light in this dark world, and show the kids that they do have hope.
Wow. Thank you for what you're doing.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Man, I'm just so grateful. Tell people how they can stay connected to all things Charlie Golden Jr.
Yeah.
Because y'all notice here, Junior, because your daddy.
Yeah, always.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, you can contact us at Golden Institute Memphis.com, or you can check us on Facebook, Charlie Golden Jr. And also, you can always come and take a tour, a visit at 3184 Overbrook Drive, where you can see everything that I'm talking about. We're not just talking, we're walking it out in our actions and our deeds.
I love it. So before you get out of here, I got to ask all of my guests this.
Okay.
Because y'all know I'm all about the community.
Right.
I'm all about the culture. And we all about having those conversations.
Right.
What's the one word that you would literally describe community?
Love.
What's the one word that you would describe culture? Dun, 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 dun.
Atmosphere.
Atmosphere. So, other words, in order for us to do what you just told me, for us to move our community and have those conversations of love and make sure the atmosphere is ready to receive the love that the community deserves.
Christ.
Because if you don't have that higher power, you ain't
have,
got nothing.
You don't have no love.
You ain't got no love. Because
Christ is love.
Because you don't know how to love.
Love, right.
And I tell a lot of people that's dealing with relationship issues and you don't have a walk with God.
Right.
It's because you don't know how to love.
No.
And then you don't know how to feel love.
Yeah.
You don't know how to be loved. You don't know that the true meaning of getting to that next level. God is love.
Right.
Not things.
Yeah.
Not people.
Right.
Not places.
Right.
But Him. Seek ye first
the kingdom of God and His righteousness.
All those other things to be added.
Yeah.
We want the things, but we ain't ready to want God.
Yeah, you got to have Him.
Gotta have Him.
Pastor Jones from Hill Chapel, you say, I'd rather have Him and need Him than need him and not have Him.
You hear it?
You
know so?
Yeah. I'm a living witness.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's time for us to unite.
Yeah.
The community is our strength. Unity is our strength.
Yeah.
You know, togetherness. That you can do a lot of things by yourself. Me, I can do a lot of it, but together we can accomplish so much more.
Yeah.
And so the thing in our community that ails us is that don't nobody want to collab.
Yeah.
You thinking I'm better than this person, and instead of just getting together and let it work. God gonna do it. He the only one can get an increase.
Yes.
So, you know, that's my understanding. Like I look to Him for whatever it is I'm doing.
Absolutely.
And I pray that Thy will be done.
Oh man. I'm that, y'all. Ain't no more I can say, but know that I love you, baby. Absolutely, positively love you. And there is nothing you can do about it. Make this day, make this moment, make this second the best ever, and learn how to be the best version of you. Because you know what? Everybody else is already taken. Until next time, be blessed is my prayer for you.
Join the rhythm and feel the beat in our community where we're all complete. With Dr. Telisa, let's take a stand. Together we'll grow hand in hand.
From the
Dr.
roots of
Telisa
history
show.
to dreams we chase, Dr. Talisa Franklin shines a light on every face. In
At the
every
Dr.
heartbeat,
Telisa
there's
show.
a story to tell. Gotta keep the culture celebrated as we excel. Here at the Dr. Talisa show.